the top defensive player in the draft. He also left the door open for a surprise selection by saying, quote, "Don't be stupid over your needs." What is exciting about the 10th pick is you got a chance to do something unconventional. So, Shannon, what does this tell you about what Jerry will do tomorrow night?
It tells me Jerry knows what he should do, because he says, what the first thing out of his mouth? We can take one of the best defensive players at the 10 spot. So he knows what he should do. It's kind of like the kid is watching. Now, they know they shouldn't do that. They looking back at you. Now, you know you should do it.
Yep.
Jerry knows what he should do. He knows he should take Michael Parsons or Patrick Surtain at the 10 spot if they're there.
Okay.
He knows that. But Jerry's like, hey, Kyle Pitts. So let me ask you a question, Skip. Jamar Chase is on the board right there. He taking it?
No.
Devontae Smith on the board there. He taking it?
No.
Kyle Pitts on the board.
Yes.
He taking it?
Big yes.
So,
Capital Y-E-S. Yes, yes, yes.
unconventional. Skip, you don't have to, Skip. We saw Chicago do something unconventional. You don't have to do anything unconventional.
You know, Trubisky?
Trubisky.
Okay.
So why would you do that, Skip? Why would you do that? Jerry, why would you do anything unconventional when you don't have to reach? Skip, that's the thing about it. Jerry does not have to reach. A very good defensive player, one of the 2 or 3 best defensive players, will be there in that spot unless something unforeseen. Now, Skip, you know, trades happen, somebody zoom up the board and want to take somebody. But there's a great chance that 2 of the top 3 defensive players will be there if the Cowboys stay at 10. You don't have to do anything unconventional, and you'll get a guy that's going to be able to help you, I believe, immediately. And here he is talking about doing something unconventional. You see, that's your problem right there. You always try to do something unconventional. Skip, just, you know, all that. When I go buy an appliance or something, Skip, they try to give you all this. You can program it from your phone. Can I just press something and turn the washing machine on? That's what I need to do. All that tech, I don't need all that tech. See, Jared tried to get too fancy with this, Skip. Take Parsons, take Surtain to second, and keep it moving. Next.
To your point, I believe the most gut-wrenching pick that Jerry ever was forced to make was during the Johnny Manziel draft.
Exactly
when
right.
Stephen Jones said, no, Jerry, he calls him Jerry, no, Jerry, we just can't do it.
Right.
And he sat there and he sat there and he wanted to pull the trigger on Johnny Manziel. And at the last second, he said, okay, I give up. And they took Zach Martin, and I think it just drove Jerry crazy because it's not what you call a sexy pick. You can't sell it.
Offensive linemen don't sell no tickets.
It doesn't make any headlines.
No.
Nobody really knew that much about Zach Martin at that point. We all knew he was highly ranked and rated and all that. But still, does it move the needle in Cowboy Nation?
No.
Where is Zach Martin headed?
He goes to the Hall of Fame.
He's going to be alongside my man Shannon Sharp. His bust is going to be alongside Shannon Sharp's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And he's not finished yet, I don't think.
No.
I know he keeps getting beat up with this and that and the other, but I believe he's still got 3 or 4 great years left in him.
Right.
Okay, so that wasn't just a good pick. You can argue that's one of the great picks in the history of the Dallas Cowboys is to get a perennial Pro Bowl Hall of Fame offensive lineman.
That's a prime example, Skip, of doing what you should do and not what you wanted to do. Because he wanted Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel is box office.
Big box
He was going to be running around because he reminded him of he was a shorter Tony Romo. That's what he thought he was going to get, Skip. So I would keep this thing going.
Okay, so that was number 1. But now we get to Kyle Pitts. And he did say, Jerry did say, I am not going to spend, this is one of his favorite words that I heard 1,000 times, I'm not going to spend an inordinate amount of collateral to move up there to get him. So, so the whole idea of trading up for Kyle Pitts is a non-starter for Jerry. So I was happy to hear that because that would be insane. That would be so self-destructive when you need so much on a defense that was one of the worst in the history of the franchise, especially against the run.
But the Cowboys used to be good defensively. You remember when the Cowboys were really, really good defensively?
Well, I remember Doomsday. It was right in the middle of my growing up period. You know, like Doomsday with Too Tall and Harvey Martin.
Randy White, Bob Lilly.
Lord have
mercy. They were good.
Oh, they were really good. And they were good under Jimmy, too.
Yes.
Because Jimmy was a defensive football coach.
Yes.
And he was going to build a defense, but they didn't have
you need to tell Jerry that. You need to tell Jerry they had very good defensive teams when they won those Super Bowls. Because somehow he think they were just the triplets.
Defense does not sell. Defense does not rate on television.
No, it does not.
Okay, it can get you to Super Bowls. It can win you Super Bowls, but it will not sell your team.
No.
It will not market your team.
Why you think they lax the rules, Skip? Ain't nobody want to see no 3-0 ball game.
Okay, so, but he did say and it's one of my all-time favorite Jerry quotes, the real thing to do is don't be stupid over your needs. Just don't be ridiculous. So don't get locked in over, we need a corner, we need a corner, we need a corner. If Kyle Pitts somehow fell to you at 10, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. He's just too good. He's going to go probably 4th overall, probably to Atlanta.
At the lowest he goes is 6th
Okay,
to Miami.
I'll buy that. I am with you on that. But if he did fall there, you can't be stupid over your needs. Then you just take Kyle Pitts. I told you that 2 months ago, and I stand by it. But he also said, Jerry did, that at 10, it's one of the highest that they've been drafting for a long time, obviously, because they were horrible. And they shouldn't have won. They won a couple late games that cost them a much higher pick, right?
And then they could have got Kyle Pitts at probably 4 or 3 if they wanted
They
it.
cost themselves Kyle Pitts when they beat Philadelphia, remember, late in the year. Okay. But he said, even at 10, you have the ability to do something unconventional. Well, now we're back to showman Jerry. Because he has to be the center of attention or he's not happy.
Right.
He bought this team to publicize himself.
Right.
Trust me, the reason in 1989 that he dived into the mix trying to buy this team from a lot of people who had way more money than he had at this point was because he was so bored in oil and gas.
Right.
He was striking it rich left and right, but nobody knew Jerry Jones.
Right.
And he's a showman by nature, and he wanted to be a celebrity.
Yes.
He wanted to turn Dallas back into Hollywood, Texas.
Yes.
And he did it.
That's a good thing, Skip. He's a celebrity billionaire. That's what he is.
Well, that's all he ever
Because
wanted.
most billionaires want to stay in the background. They're kind of reclusive. They don't do a whole lot of talking. They don't do a whole lot of anything, interviews. But that's not Jerry.
Okay.
Yes, I did a TV show and a radio show.
Okay, but you can't accuse him of being the best-known owner who's never won a Super Bowl because he won 3 of them.
He won 3 of them, yes.
They were a long, long time ago,
Yes.
but he won 3.
He did that,
And
yes.
he won them in a short period of time, which helped put him on the map.
Right.
And he still owns the map.
Right.
He still dominates the world of professional
He's still
football.
living up those 3, though, Skip.
Okay,
You do
I got
realize
it.
that, right?
But
I thought you said you got to update your resume. That's what you told me.
well, that's what you told me.
Yeah.
But when he speaks, do you listen?
Yeah, because
Sure
I
you
already
do.
know you're going to say something messed up.
Okay, well, that's the point. He is the most controversial owner.
Yes.
He is arguably the most hated owner.
Yes.
From outside, well, really inside and outside
Yes.
Cowboy Nation.
Yeah.
But is he not the most entertaining owner? Yeah.
He Al Davis.
Well, he's beyond Al Davis because Al didn't speak that much.
Al didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Only time he spoke is when he got upset at Commissioner Commissioner Roselle. That's what irked Al. Other than that, Al didn't do a whole lot of talking. You know, he stand on with his white suit. And
I knew Al very well. If he had a bone to pick with somebody and he called the media together, you better look out because here he comes.
Oh, like he did with Lane Kiffin?
Yep. He could, look, remember that? That was all time. He just lambasted
He
him,
did.
right?
He did. But so Jerry made it abundantly clear. I know we need defense. And we're in prime position at the 10 spot, Skip, to get a very good defensive player. Now, I could do something unconventional. Why, though?
Shock the world. Make everybody buzz about the Cowboys.
Guess what, Skip?
Look what the Cowboys did.
Everybody's talking about, what is Atlanta going to do? What's San Francisco going to do? Is Miami going to trade up from ain't nobody talking about Dallas at 10. Everybody talking about what everybody, and Jerry like, hold on. I might do something unconventional.
I'll shake it up.
Yeah, and now y'all go get us talking about what Jerry might do at 10. Mm-hmm. Come on, Jerry. Let the people have their moment. You get all the moments.
Okay, so I've said also for 2 months on this show that Patrick Surtain is the textbook correct choice to make. It's obviously a glaring need, a cornerback, but he's just a stud. I don't know what's not to like about him. He is a press man corner whose father was a really good player.
Yes.
Jerry did use the word yesterday. I love osmosis, meaning like father, like son. When you grow up around a great player, you're a big brother, but still, when your father was already an established, one of the premier cornerbacks in football, and he's your hands-on teacher, that's called osmosis, where it's just going to rub off on you.
Probably coached him throughout his career, Little League, or a Pee Wee, Pop Warner, JV, high school. So
and he plays with such it's an arrogant, but in a good way, air. Like he has such confident body language.
And guess what, Skip? You know he's battle tested. He had to guard Ruggs, Judy.
In practice.
Devontae, Waddle, Michi. So you're like, okay, it's not well, he ain't have to guard him, but no.
Okay.
Chase, Skip, he had to go against Jamar Chase. He had to go against Justin Jefferson. Marshall. So that's it for me. I'm good.
And when I watched him, he is the opposite of a gambler or what we call a cluer,
Right.
where you're going to guess.
That's the guy on the other side.
That's the guy on the other side. So I like the